I'm Stuart Bloor. I've said that a few times, and I'm getting ready for a perch session. I've also said that on more than one occasion as well, and no doubt I will say it many times in the future, because if you're not aware, perch are my favourite species. I've arrived at a venue, got the car parked to myself. On the way down, saw my first yellowhammer of the year. Also some nice wildflowers growing, which I'm going to capture on film in a moment. And I've just heard a raven calling in the distance. So it's all good so far, but of course I'm here to fish, and we'll see how that goes. Well, there's a few flowers for you, ready to hit the water side now. Can you believe it that we had snow yesterday, and although it has gone today, driving in, some of the hills in the area and in the distance still had a cap of snow on them. It's a funny thing, isn't it, the British weather, and that of course is why we talk about it all the while. I'm not interested in talking about the weather for the sake of chit chat and gossip, but of course it does affect our fishing. So got to see how it affects the conditions today. After a reasonably long spell of dry, mild weather, suddenly we had this ferocious wind from the north that brought in snow and severe cold with overnight frosts. But as we often say, and I'm a great believer in this, you never catch sitting at home, only when your bait's in the water. Just made my first cast, tighten the rod up, the waiting game begins. How long will that wait be? Who knows? Could be seconds, could be minutes, hopefully not too long of course. But if there are fish around, then that'll be a good thing of course. But I shall make a few casts at first, one after the other, get some bait out there, cast to the same spot. Of course I'm fishing with a cage feeder. A maggot on the hook, a red maggot, and I shall make a few casts, get a little bit of bait out there, and hopefully it won't be too long before I've got a bend in my rod. While I'm waiting for my first fish, I can't say my first bite, I did have a little tap earlier. While I'm waiting for my first fish, thought I'd capture those swans. A scene that has no doubt been witnessed by many anglers on lakes and rivers and anywhere you find swans, mute swans. They are very territorial and can be very aggressive. And you often see the one being chased away by the other one, all puffed up and motoring along on the water to clear them off. This is a big venue, but whether it's a small pond or a big reservoir like this, they're still territorial. It's that time of the year in particular when they do chase off their rivals. They like to keep the place for themselves. At last, I'm into a fish. It's been a long wait. It's a perch. I could tell that though. You just know these things, don't you, the way that the fish fight.